little bit more. So Anita, let's start with you. You joined the Amway family 40 years ago, and I'm sure while a lot has changed, there's so many incredible things about Amway that are still the same. So tell us a little bit about what made you decide to give this business a chance and what's kept you here all this time.
Hi, Cindy and everyone. I'm so happy to be here and connect with all of you. You're right, Cindy. A lot of change in the world, at Amway, and our family and our business. But it's funny, the core of what drew me to Amway is still the same. In 1981, I was introduced by a friend to attend Amway meeting. The fairness and unlimited potential of the business attract me a lot. And also, I could work as part-time and need not to quit my job. At that time, I was a customer service supervisor in DHL. Although my income was satisfactory, but I could see limited prospect in there, while Amway is a business of my own with huge potential. When I started, Amway was not well known, with much less products. As a young girl at early 20, no one would believe in me. However, I attend all the meetings, listen recordings, read a lot of books, and gradually I have more faith in myself. Then I set goals and worked very hard. When the group was becoming bigger, the responsibility as a leader drove me more actively to support my downline. Even until now, it's the same. Drive me, I have, and that's why I won't retire.
I love that so much. And I guess what really resonates with me is that you came into it not, knowing how many people believed in you, but look at you now. So it warms my heart. I love it so much. And so Bobby, I'd like to hear from you as well. Same question. What made you take a chance on us, and what keeps you here and keeps you inspired?
Hi to you again, and hi to Anita as well. And I think by listening to Anita's, my story is just almost exactly the same, but replay after 20 years. Since Anita started the business in 1981, I was born in 82. I signed up in 2004, so that's already 22 years after Anita already been in the business. And me considered as another generation compared to Anita, but still the reason that I decided, Cindy, to do Amway business was very simple as well. I just wanted to do something with my life. And I just wanted to make it short in terms of making a living. So I was thinking that I want to make a living, or do I have to? Turns out, it's not that I just want to make a living, but as a human life, we are supposed to, make a living. So I was looking for ways to do things, to build business, or any kind of business that doesn't take the whole lifetime to make it possible. Then I learned about the Amway business through a book, and I went online with the help of Google search engine. I learned about network marketing, and it turns out Amway was one of the search results that it shows up. I spent a couple more months learning more about the concept of the business. When I was 19, I already understood that Amway was a good business, but I didn't make decision to build a business right there when I was 19. I waited for another 2 years until I realized this is it. So in order to make it short, what I missed out in my first 2 years from 19 to 21, when I already know that Amway is good business, because Amway is more than just good business. You have to think about in terms of how much worth it can be. So it took me to build Amway business seriously since my day one in the business, once I understand the whole picture of this business.
That is incredible. I know you guys already talked about what songs motivate you and drive your business. This one may not have come up, I don't know, but Frank Sinatra sings I Did It My Way, oh, yeah. Right? And so I really think of both you, Anita, and you, Bobby, and I think they did it their way, not just Amway, but life.
Right.
And I think that's so amazing.
Can we hear you sing that a little bit? Or no? Okay. Oh, let's not do
No,
that.
no, that would make the panel totally shut down.
Okay.
Anyway, Bobby and Anita, thank you. I can't express how grateful we all are that you both found Amway and have stayed around for all these years and are passing your incredible knowledge on to others. So I'm going to start with a question for Anita. And now these are questions that have come in ahead of time from young leaders. And so that's why I want to read them off of my excess colored cue cards, because I don't want to get them wrong. So Anita, tonight is all about young leaders. And so the question that they have for you is, what are your tips for growing and helping ABOs have the best first year possible, as we want to not just attract new ABOs, but help them have sustainable, stable, incredible businesses?
Yes, Cindy, it's a good question. Increasing number of young people helps our business grow rapidly. I have been doing this since I joined. Because I started Amway when I was 22, I achieved Diamond at my 24 and Crown Ambassador at my 31. I could achieve most of my dream at my young age. This proves Amway is the best opportunity for young people. Then I do my best to support and share experience to them. I believe putting them in a right environmental is crucial. Lately, we have a segmented meeting only for young ABO who born after year 90s. It is a weekly training called Young Entrepreneur Startup, YES, yes. In the meeting, all are young, energetic people, and they learn and share together. YES focus on dream building. Young people has a lot of dream. Tracing dream is their motive to do the business actively. We also talk about the core value and Amway 4 fundamentals: family, freedom, reward, and hope. These are so related to them. Of course, we also talk about product. We encourage them to self-use product. But most young people, they don't have much spending power. Therefore, we encourage them to share products to parents. Then their parents usually are their first customer. And we also teach them to focus on sharing health and beauty product to their young peers. Of course, sponsoring and follow-up. We always remind them not only sponsor their young peers, also sponsor their age and level above. This would help the productivity of the entire group. And we, mature leader, dare to give free hand and let young leaders take up roles in meeting and big functions. Their devotion and responsibility will make them grow. They are so creative, and the function they're in charge usually turn out much better than we expect. Not only work together, we play together. We have leisure time for building our relationship. I normally do that in my yard. This is a good way for motivation and dream building. Last but not least, thanks Amway for launching the Core Plus program. We emphasize on finding satisfying customer and building strong, solid structure of active ABO. This enable them to get a very competitive second income in the first year.
Love it. And I'm smiling a lot, right? Because of two things. I love the word yes. So that YES is something I know I'm going to carry with me, and hopefully our audience will too. And then also your mention of Core Plus. One of our global vice president in sales is going to be here to talk about that later today. And I helped launch that program, so it's pretty close to my heart as well. And so I'm really excited to hear more from Luke and you on that. And obviously that first year is something that new ABOs are always going to remember. How were they treated? Did you lean into their personal creativity? So I love that, right?
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you, Anita. I want to mention some of the quotes or the comments here. I love your dress, Anita. Yeah, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
And there's so many great people on here, like dear coach Anita. So Calvin saying just having you as a coach is just an amazing experience. I don't know what this means, Avenger Bobby, but I love it. He's a superhero in my eyes as well. So thank you, everybody.
Love it. So here's another popular question that we got from the young leaders when we were setting up to have this great event. They were looking for advice on how to help Amway stand out from the competition, how to make young ABOs and young customers say yes to both the products and the opportunity, and to make them feel like they really want to be a part of it. So Bobby, let's start with you. What worked for you? How do you position the products and the opportunity to interest young people today?
I think my answer for this question has to go with the reality that Amway product itself, in fact, doesn't need any more representation. By its own design, by its own message, is very clear. So I think to be able to captivate your prospects in terms of business opportunities, as well as in terms of customer for your products, I think is to be able to understand that to drive result, especially go back to the first question, is quite related to the first year of the business. In order for new people to have result, they must have hope. And by being natural is very important in Amway business because the product is there, the message is there, the upline is there, the group that working together side by side with you is there. In fact, we do not need to create anything new, except stay true to yourself and be natural. And I think this is a very important message for us leaders, because by looking at these participants, they are all probably young people, 100% of them, I guess. So you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And by being natural with the product, that might not lead to result immediately. But result will come as long as you are in the business, correct? So in order to make new people to stay past to their first 90 days, as well as the first year, is to give them hope. And by being natural is a true hope. And people can stay with their business until they see their first desired result.
Thank you. I think, with hope being one of the founders' fundamentals, I think that makes absolutely perfect sense. Rich and Jay knew what they were doing 60 plus years ago,
Right.
and
Exactly.
building that into our fundamentals. And to hear you say that just being true to yourself is a pathway to building something bigger than yourself, I think is amazing. So thank you for that, Bobby. And it's also the perfect transition to another topic that we got a lot of questions on, and that's social media. If you're true to yourself and you're authentic and you're showing that to the world online as well as offline, it can be pretty seamless for people. They'll know who you are and what's in your heart right away. So you and your wife Nucci and your team are all very active. I know Millen follows you. I follow you. Aaron probably follows you. Makes us sound like stalkers, but we do follow you on social media. And we just want to know, how is this, and the young leaders really want to know, how has this helped your business, particularly with younger prospects and younger customers?
So I believe that all of us here are already online and already on Instagram, for example, or WeChat in China. And the way that we build the business, we join and use social medias way back since the time that it started, probably like almost 10 years. But in the beginning, the way that we use social media is not like what we are doing here today. Back then, we started using social media to keep in touch with our own downlines and leaders. Later on, once more and more people starting using social media, the simple act of building the business for new people is that moment of listing of names and making phone calls. That is what we used to be doing, right? Nowadays, what is different is the way that we build the business change. Even for new people, there's no such event anymore where we sit down together with downlines and list out the names of prospect or customers. But it turns out we use their Instagram and look at their followers. We use their Facebook and starting to look at their friends and mutual friends. And that's how the list is already there. In other words, before we need to come up with a list of names. Nowadays, the list was there even before you build the Amway business. So by integrating the business into your way of life is the key to building Amway business in this new generation. Even for myself, if you actually look at my own personal Instagram, I do not post much during these times, but more of activities will be used by my wife's accounts. And I create contents for my wife. My wife is the outlet and channel where I post all those videos about products. And when it comes to business opportunity, I position myself separate from my wife and separate Instagram account to attract people who look for business opportunity. And this is the perks for people building the business as a couple. You can separate what you do and what you attract. And there's no rules. You can even have multiple Instagram accounts. But I think my answer for this question is for you not only to be true to yourself, but more than being true to yourself is to understand that that is how new people will discover Amway products and Amway business. Back to you, Cindy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's opened up this whole new world of making connections. And I think that's really what it's all about. Follow-up question to that, Bobby, and it's really about creators. You and Nucci are part of the official sort of creators program in partnership with Amway. And it's really built on the philosophy that anyone, anytime, anywhere who just has a phone and a passion can become a creator and share the products and the opportunity really authentically, focused on products, as you said. And so let's talk about creators. You were one of the first, you and your wife were one of the first to have this kind of partnership with Amway to make creators come to life. And so I think the young leaders on the call would love to know, how has that experience helped you relate to and connect with young ABOs as well?
I share it this way, Cindy. Even for my own personal experience with my groups. And you can see that sometimes we have this kind of, some kind of teasing together, among our leaders that seems like Instagram these days are made for women. Seems like so. A lot of posts and creators are females, and a lot of audience on Instagram are females, right? But turns out that whenever you understand the word passion, this could be anything. But seems like a lot of girls find that passion easily, and guys still have to think about their passion for quite some time. But whatever that passion is, you bring it out and be yourself. For example, my newest leaders, he asked me one question, which is very simple, and I think this answers this question very well. He said he loved playing guitar and piano. This is his two favorite things. How can he make this relevant in the Amway business? I think the first thing about passion in Amway is to forget about it's relevant to the business. Forget about it. Be yourself, spend your time with what you love for a couple of weeks. Then you will find a way to tie in your products or tie in your business opportunity message. And later on, after he started doing piano, Cindy, he'd been playing piano, asking his comments for recommended songs, whoever want to learn new songs, things like this, nothing to do with business. And later on, he started using N by Nutrilite. And that is a little bit. And that's how I say being natural and understand the importance that people will discover you through social media. Especially during the times of lockdown in many countries, we don't get to go out to let ourselves be discovered, or even we don't get to discover people in real life, but all be done online. So I think start simple, follow your heart and forget about the relevance to the business, especially in the first 2 weeks, and let the magic and the miracles unfold, and you will see the potential of the business.
I love that perspective. Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I love that perspective. It's really about being yourself, and then the business and personal come together naturally in the end. So Anita, look, we really want to hear from you on this topic as well. I would love to understand, and everyone in the audience would love to understand, how do you view your role in social media, and how do you engage that way?
I am, but of course, I'm not as good and doing that much as Bobby. So Bobby, I have to learn from you. Please give me a lesson so that I can learn more. Because most of my young leaders, they are in the social media. So I definitely have to learn and do something. So I post my lifestyle, travel incentive, and sometimes positive articles. I think this is the most effective way to connect and inspire them at the social media platform. Even though they are not in Hong Kong, we are still connected. Like today, we connect with US and also Thailand. It boosts us to expand the business globally. Through social media, I know my young leader more by watching their posts. This helps us a better communication and understanding. I sometimes react their posts by showing my care and encouragement, and sometimes I openly ask their goal setting. It's very helpful. We use social media for ABO training and sharing product knowledges to some prospective customer. We have success story, health and beauty channel, playlists in Facebook and YouTube. And lately, my husband Clement even developed an e-learning apps for our team. I'm so proud of him. Then some ABO can learn online, especially when COVID stops us meeting physically. So our passion is to keep learning and using more social media for increasing more young people in our group. Thank you.
Thank you. That's incredible. I didn't know about the e-learning that Clement helped set up. And so,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Be proud of your husband there. That's fantastic. That's a lot of
Yeah.
work to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
It's awesome. And it keeps people engaged. And I also like what you said, Anita, about sometimes just interacting with their posts and learning more about what they love through their posts, so that when you do connect with them, you're able to start a better conversation, a meaningful conversation, and they feel probably really good knowing, oh, Anita knows me.
Right.
And so I just think that goes a long, long way. We've got about 5 more minutes. And so there's this last few questions that the audience had, and I'm going to combine them into one question. And we will start with Bobby, and then Anita will have you answer it after Bobby. And so really the young leaders are asking, what tips do you have for young leaders to help them encourage new ABOs in the business? And the second part of it is, if you only had one, right? So maybe what are your top 3, but of those 3, which one, if you had to focus, would you encourage them to focus on? So let's start with you, Bobby.
I'm processing the answer for you. And now
It's tough, right? We made it hard.
it seems like one
Sorry.
question with a lot of small 5 questions in there. But anyway, I think to be able to encourage and build new leaders, especially young leaders, is for us to understand that Amway has always been a young business. Amway has always been a business for young people. Rich and Jay started young. Anita started young. I started young, even though now I'm 39, approaching 40. In 5 years, I'm not going to be included in this group anymore. Probably going to be younger people, right? So I think Amway is a unique business with unique result. We all agree on that. Am I right? So therefore, it requires unique people to see this unique result in the business. So a lot of people will come in, and young people, especially young people nowadays, they always love the result of Amway business. Is uncomparable to other business. But many of them turns out that they do not quite like the process of building the result. So in order to make sure that we thrive and grow in this new coming 20 years, is not only find people who love the result and see the uniqueness of the lifestyle that Amway offers us, but to find people and encourage the people to fall in love with the Amway process. Some of them call it the classic Amway things, the classic Amway things, like demonstrational products, which nowadays we don't get to do that like 20 years before. We use a lot of videos, we use a lot of information, people become more educated, consumers are smarter, so people don't need much of convincing anymore. So I think everything is pointing to you that the result is good, but how to make young people, especially new people, fall in love with the process, I believe this is going to be the key. And if I can leave you one last thing before we get to meet in future occasions, is to tell yourself and tell your downlines that it's easy to fall in love with Amway, right? But it's not that easy to fall in love with the process required to build Amway business. And whoever can do that, they are guaranteed to have a very successful and happy life, not only after they get the result, but along the way while they're building it. And that's the message I want to share with all of you. Thank you, Cindy.
That was beautiful. It's easy to fall in love with Amway, but maybe not the process. So something for us to take into consideration and work on. And I like that you called Amway incomparable. It cannot be compared to anything else. Maybe our new tagline, I'll have to talk to the Amway brand folks about that.
We'll work on that one.
I love it. So Anita, how about you? I mean, I know it's really hard to come and boil it down to just a few tips, but we'd love to hear from you on this last question.
Okay. Bobby, you're a baby because I'm young. So we both are very young. So age is only a number. Okay, don't mention the age. We're always young at heart, okay? My tips for young leader, I have a motto for them. Be a better you. Be a better you. How can you do it? First, be a learner. Attend all meetings. Learn from your upline. Listen all the positive recordings. Read a lot of books. And learn how to do the business and how to teach others to do it. Second, be an executor. Young people have more time than mature leaders with family responsibility. Working hard is the key factor to gain experience and be succeed. Be a motivator. To be a power bank of charging others. We have to get more strength in order to motivate our downlines. So self-motivation and motivational skill is crucial for young leader to lead the team. Be a real leader. Lead by example. You don't tell others what to do, but show them what you have done. Actions speaks louder than words. Be a better you. Not one time, not sometime. It's at all time. So if you ask me one tips, dare to dream, be a dreamer. The more and stronger dreams you have, the bigger power you have for building your business and overcoming challenges. But you find buddy, associate with all the dreamers, and don't let other people steal your dream. And last, be a dream builder. Help all your teammates to dream big. So let's build up our dream, and we will meet in the A70. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, and we certainly will meet at A70. Can't wait to actually hug people right there. But I love what you said about being a power bank to others. I don't know, that really sticks out to me. And I think it's a beautiful sentiment, and it applies to life as well as the business, right, Aaron?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It looks like, I mean, certainly the leaders agree here. And I also want to make sure I congratulate Bobby on his new profession as Nucci's photographer. I mean, apparently that's what you do now. So, I mean, that's celebrate that. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you both so much. This was a great conversation. I know that our audience got a ton out of it, as did we, and we never have to hire an ad agency. We just need to talk to you more and more often to give us these nuggets of what really makes Amway unique and different. And so a round of applause, virtual, and
I don't know how
Aaron
to
and
do
I
it,
will do
yeah.
live for our dear Anita and Bobby. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you.